It is a real treat to have some ladies you may have seen on television perform miraculously the last few days. And it's the OU women's gymnastics team, the head coach, KJ Kindler. How are you, KJ?
I'm great. How are you?
Good to have you here. And we have Jordan Bowers, the senior all-world. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming. And Faith Torres, you've got a couple more years yet to go, right? But man, have you started out well.
Thank you.
How did it feel this morning waking up?
Well,
Felt a little surreal, especially being a senior too. You know, that was my last competition, so definitely a fairy tale ending, and what a great way to go out with my girls. So.
Yeah. Hey, I want to go to the beam because you guys just told me the width of the beam, and that's kind of a big story here with this team, is this wide. Everybody has a phone. It's that wide. That's the beam. That's the one that they're going backwards and finding themselves before falling over. And you guys struggled and didn't even make the finals the year before.
yes.
But this year you start out coincidentally on the beam and you kill it.
Yeah, thank you. We got to select the beam. It was a random draw, but yes, we got beam. A lot of people probably wouldn't choose to start on the beam. It's a very, nerve-wracking event.
Yes.
Most audience members can barely even watch
Oh,
beam.
yeah.
Yeah, so, but we are exceptional on beam, and you have to be really aggressive. They were absolutely that. I said beam was fire because it was like the best I've ever seen them do. I was so proud of them. Yeah, and when you start like that, momentum is everything in a meet like this.
Yeah.
So that momentum carried us through.
So you start out 990, 990. I think you had 3 in a row before you've topped that. How much of that is mental? Talking about the beam.
Yes, gymnastics is, as a whole is definitely, I would say, more mental than physical, but especially beam. And I feel like a big misconception about beam is that you have to be like a little more cautious and like kind of tone it down a little bit. But I feel like beam is the most aggressive event that you have to be on. And we do that in our dance and our skills, and she's very good with choreography. And making sure you get that aggressiveness before your skills and you set the tone. So I feel like we are so incredible at that, and it was really great to start off on beam and to get that momentum going.
Yeah, any thoughts differently in regard to that?
Yeah, we're very confident on beam. You know, she trains us very well in the gym, which is super important, especially mentally. Everybody has their own thing before beam. Like, you leave the arena, I watch everybody's routines, do their routines with them, and just seeing everybody go out there and be so confident is so key, especially with beam and being so aggressive.
Guys, you are special, but this lady here is pretty special too. 19 years. Took you a while to get going. But you've won 3 of the last 4 national championships. You've won 6 out of 10, 7 out of 11. I thought that the way you went into this after last year not making it to the finals, I thought that your quote was, compete with freedom, not redemption. First of all, you guys tell me and tell the audience what that meant to you, and was that real?
Yes, it definitely was. Competing freely is something that we were riding with the whole entire competition, and just feeding off of each other's energy and just doing our best gymnastics and having fun, really soaking in the moment, because that's when we do our best gymnastics.
Yeah, we definitely do our best when we're free, the pressure's off of us, and we have nothing to lose, and we just had to go in there and take it like any other day. And like, we're in the gym and we've put in so many numbers, you know, you have no reason to be nothing but fully confident in yourself, and we just started that right away, and we had so much fun together and did it all together. So.
Where'd you come up with it?
We had a lot of pressure this year, you know, and it wasn't internal pressure from within our team. It was more external, you know, from the media, from fans, things like that, where they kept, you know, recalling our issue last year. And we did. We had several falls in a row in the prelims, and that was tough because that was the last meet of the year. So it's not like you could go out the next week and redeem yourself or anything like that. So we kind of carried that with us all the way till the next season began. But they were able to put it behind them. And certainly we as a staff were pushing that, but it was hard to forget because people kept reminding you. Every television broadcast, they would show it, you know, so even though you were trying to put it in the rearview mirror. It wasn't quite there yet. So I thought it was really important. And we have themes throughout the year, but like our final theme was like independence and freedom from all of that had happened. We made it past prelims, like that is gone. No one can bring that up again. And so I just wanted them to compete with complete freedom and have confidence in what they were doing. I mean, this is one of the best teams I've ever coached.
Yeah.
So I knew they were capable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year's was really good. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It
It's hard to
absolutely
take it
was.
back to last year.
No, but it absolutely was. It was one of the best teams also, and has the NCAA record. Like that, that team did amazing things. They just at the very end, they didn't make it. You know.
Yeah.
So those things happen in sports. You know, it's sports. That's what happens.
Faith, third in the all-around.
Mm-hmm.
That is magnificent.
Yes.
Now, we know the gal to your right was first, but you've got a couple more years to do that. How big was that?
Yeah,
What was important to you in reaching that?
Yeah, it's so special. You know, you go to nationals, and that's the biggest thing you could win. Like, that's so amazing. And just everything has always been so team driven, and we love that. And then you go out there and you kind of forget about the individual things sometimes. So then that's like the biggest stage that you could do that on. And then like sharing the podium with Jordan, I think is so special.
Jordan, did you go into it thinking that you would win, that if I do my best, which you planned to do, that you would walk out as the all-around champ?
Yeah, I know. I think if you do what you know how to do and like what you're capable of, you definitely could, but that definitely wasn't in the forefront of my mind. You know, team was definitely first, and advancing on to finals is definitely in the forefront of my mind, and the individual stuff just comes with it. So very grateful to have had such a great night and build off of that momentum from regionals and carry that into nationals as well. I feel like really helped all of us going into nationals. So.
Your students, but you put in an enormous amount of time. How much during this grind, what would you say, how many hours a day would you guys have devoted to the sport?
Oh my gosh.
We were just talking
Yeah,
about
we
this
were.
in the car. We were talking about our shirts from last year and all the hours that we put in. And it's a lot of hours, but we really take it super seriously, and it means everything to us because we only have 4 years here. Lucky enough to have 5, but it just means a lot, and we put.
Well, that was a nice dance around, and that was a good answer. But how many hours would you say during this stretch, when you're really grinding?
So we only get 20 like in the gym working out, including like conditioning
can't
and stuff
answer
like
it.
those. But like
there's a lot that
there's
goes into
treatments
it.
that go into it,
Yeah.
recovery, like so many things that go into it. So oh my gosh, I don't even know.
I don't even know either.
Probably like let's see. Like at least like 8 hours a day, I would say.
I saw a series the other day on Bill Russell, the former Celtic great, and he had 11 rings on. You guys aren't quite there, but this is ridiculous. Can you hold that up and get a look and tell us what they are here, if you
Yes,
will?
okay. This one is 2022 Big 12 Championship. This one's 2023 National Championship. 2023 Big 12 Championship, 2024 Big 12 Championship, and 2022 National Championship.
Okay, hold on just a second. We won 2 national championships in a row. Football, big, right?
Yes.
Look at this little thing compared to that. Huh?
Still very nice.
That's embarrassing. I'm going to turn it around and just use it as a double wedding ring. Let's hear about yours.
The 2023 National Championship, 2023 Big 12. Then we have the 2024 Individual National Championship, and then the 2024 Big 12.
And Big Mama just probably has them in a case, and your
They're in a
recruits
case.
were
Oh,
going
yeah.
to
She has
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
KJ, how does it feel to be the second, how do you state it, highest attended sport at the University of Oklahoma? You've got OU football at 84,000. I should know this off the top of my head, but you guys are ahead of softball. Softball 8,800, and you guys are above that. Second biggest attended sport.
Yeah, I mean, it's really awesome. We've worked really hard to build our attendance. The fans have really been coming out, filling the Lloyd Noble Center. I can tell you that these student athletes, they love it when the place is full. So the energy that the building brings, especially now that we're in the SEC, you know, everywhere we went was a sellout. And so you're going out there and the crowds are very impactful. And I'm proud to say
And
that
smart.
our crowd is also impactful.
Yeah.
Very smart about the sport. I would say our crowd is one of a more friendly crowd.
Oh, okay. Let me guess LSU, by the way, if you were
Well,
ranking it.
there's some tough ones. You know,
Yeah.
Florida is a tough environment to be in. LSU,
And they
for
didn't
sure.
make it into, and they, right? They got
Correct.
stuck in the, yeah.
Yes, I mean, you know, like I said, those things can happen to some of the best teams, and it's tough at the end of the day.
Yeah. What are you up to next? You are engaged, and I had his name, Raydell. You've been
Yes.
engaged for a little bit. He was actually a male gymnast at
Yes, he
Oklahoma in
was.
2022-23,
Yep.
and getting married this summer.
Yes, yep. So getting married, I'm going to start our lives, and I'm going to be student coaching as a strength and conditioning coach for football and basketball. So
Yeah.
staying within athletics and trying to help athletes reach their dreams and their full potential as well. So
Last question. What sports figure do you look up to most?
Ooh, sports figure.
Hold that one, and I'll go with a completely different question over here to Jordan. What sports figure do you look up to the most?
yes, my favorite athlete of all time is Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
His mentality in and outside of his sport is just truly incredible, and the things that he does for himself, his team, his family, I love his just everything about the way he approaches
Yeah.
life and the sport of basketball, and I just have really looked up to him.
Guys, marvelous, just unbelievable. Thank you so much for taking time to come and join us on the Blitz, and
you.
congratulations for what you're doing.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You're welcome.